Hi everyone, it's me, Jessica lwhor, and we're back with another Jess Talk. That's right. Before we get into this Jess Talk on mindfulness, make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and that you are streaming this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and more. But let's get into it.
Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention the whore. Attention. Here I am walking down the street, seeing all the boys trying to take a peek. Shorts pulled up, a chest out right. Come on, boys, just take a bite. Look but don't touch, spin it round and round.
Okay, so mindfulness. Let's talk about it. What does it really boil down to? I do this preaching of mindfulness, motivation, and manifestation. What does mindfulness mean to me? This streams across all of your senses. This is how do you respond to people? Mindfulness of choices, decisions, actions, responses. It really comes down to a healthy balance of things. Wow, I feel like this was going to be so much easier to talk about, but mindfulness for me is actively thinking about and checking myself before doing something, saying something, responding to something. If someone pisses me off, being mindful not to just have a quick reaction is part of that journey as well. You know, I feel like we could do a whole segment on responding to negativity, and I actually want to save part of this explanation, but the mindfulness piece of that comes in to say, how big of a deal is this? Felony is a great example of this. Am I thinking about this for days, weeks, months? Is this something that I'm not going to be able to let go of when I'm upset? And being mindful of, why am I upset? What is the actual reason that makes me upset in this situation? Is it because I'm having my feelings hurt? Is it because that I need to communicate how this was done wrong? Is it because I want this person to hurt because I'm hurting? What is the intention, and what is the when it boils down to it, reason that I'm doing this? So mindfulness is like having those conversations with yourself. If I wasn't mindful, I would act on impulse. I would act immediately based off of how I feel. And sometimes you need to do that. The mindfulness is before something happens or after it happens, you're having a conversation with yourself to better your mental health, to better the situation, or to really think about how much or how long you're going to allow something to control you or to like consume your mind in some aspects. I think mindfulness is like, even in decision making, like how am I responding to this person? Am I trying to make up a lie or a story? I think mindfulness is about lying as well, like even white lies. Why did I choose to make this white lie up rather than just be upfront and honest 100%? Being mindful is like having those harder conversations with yourself. Do I need to apologize? Did I fuck up and do something wrong? Should I be making this choice over this choice? Am I able to have better confrontation? I think mindfulness really plays into a lot of the mental health pieces that we all try to avoid thinking about. Like, no one likes to be told they're wrong, but accountability plays into mindfulness. Have that conversation. Realistically, did you mess up? Do you owe someone an apology? Could you have handled that situation differently? Absolutely. And if you're like, no, this is logically what happened. That's part of that conversation with yourself. It's checking yourself. It's having difficult conversations with yourself. It's reflecting, a lot of reflection on your actions, on your words, on what you chose to do. Like, if I decide to eat a shit ton of Taco Bell, yeah, it feels great when I'm doing that. But being mindful is like, well, do I really want to have the worst IBS the next morning? Or can I have like one thing from Taco Bell and then like I can satisfy the craving, but I'm also not suffering tomorrow? Or binging. Yeah, like, and every situation is different. Every conversation is different. It's just having them and having them as logically as you can, like separating yourself. I think mindfulness plays in with how much you hold on to something that doesn't brew into resentment as well. So like, if I'm upset, I'm mindful that I need a solid week or a weekend or the next morning until the next morning to just be upset about it. But then that's holding myself accountable and saying, I told myself I needed a week. If I need to extend this, do I really need to extend this? Or am I just trying to hold on to something because I'm being a bitter Betty? Let's have that conversation. You're the only person I think genuinely that can check you in a way. And not that you shouldn't take things that you hear from your friends or close ones or random people, but I think there's a power in having honest, genuine conversations with yourself. Words matter, actions matter, choices matter. Ultimately, that's what mindfulness is. So start those conversations every time you get a chance to, even in the small situations. All right.